From April 10 to July 31st, 2008, the rare simple serotype of the Salmonella enterobacteria caused at least 1,329 cases of salmonellosis food poisoning in 43 states throughout the United States and in the District of Columbia, the highest reported outbreak since 1985. New Mexico and Texas were proportionally the hardest hit, with 56.9 and 21.3 reported cases per million respectively. The greatest number of reported cases have occurred in Texas, New Mexico, Illinois, and Arizona. Based on an initial case control study, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, have maintained the salmonella was spread through raw tomatoes. Inconsistencies in the survey results and a broad distribution of cases led federal agencies to suggest that the possibility of the salmonella might have been spread through other food items that are commonly consumed with tomatoes. The exact sources of the contaminated food are not yet known. The time frame of the outbreak had led the FDA to suspect that it was a source or sources of the outbreak may be among tomato farms producing winter crops. As of July 31st, the latest reported illness onset occurred on July 12th, and the latest estimated illness onset occurred on July 25th. Illness onsets well into July suggest that fresh winter tomatoes are not the only source of the outbreak. The FDA has changed their warning of the contaminated food products responsible from fresh tomatoes to fresh jalapeno and serrano peppers from Mexico and perhaps raw tomatoes. The FDA's recommendation that consumers stop eating any fresh jalapenos, regardless of their origin, has elicited more disapproval from the produce industry. Criticism of the FDA's decision comes on the grounds that there was only one positive sample among numerous negative samples, both at many farms and facilities. 4 days after making the recommendation not to eat any fresh jalapenos, the FDA announced that peppers grown in the United States are indeed safe to eat. Millions of dollars were lost by tomato growers from all over the country. The incident, which is still fresh in the minds of many, wreaked havoc on the tomato industry. Florida Grower, an online publication on growing fruits and vegetables, asked its audience the following poll question: should some form of restitution be granted to growers for the misidentification of tomatoes as a source of the 2008 salmonella outbreak? A whopping 94% said yes. At the very least, it is safe to say producers of fresh produce aren't ever again going to take an incident like this lying down, especially those in the States. Some measures to prevent this incident from happening again are validating industry claims and mandatory regulations, such as in Florida, mandatory good agriculture practices and good manufacturing practices are being carried out. The second edition of the community-specific guidance document provides the foundation for regulatory efforts and is reviewed by the FDA. It is supported by the industry of growers and shippers in Canada, Mexico, and the US, wholesalers, retailers, and food service.